All right, you wonderful souls, it's time to get involved in the Song of the Week choice number 44, which is supplied by Hail the Void, who are a band from here on Vancouver Island. They're situated on the south of it, in and around Victoria and Langford area. And firstly, a little update, which is apologies for this not being released on the usual Wednesday scheduled Wednesday release. Okay, brain. Just because, long story short, Jodie and Harley, my partner and her 8-year-old son, they were away in the Okanagan for a week and a half. And in that week and a half, I went absolutely nuts when it comes to working. My sleep schedule and my food schedule for a 35-year-old was embarrassing. I did not look after myself properly. And the excitement of their return, and then the day they got back, I cooked a dinner, I got some presents, I got some flowers, and then I was just crash out. All that excitement, and then the last week culminating to not having a good schedule of rest and food meant that I just crashed hardcore. And I don't wish to force myself into doing things that I love. What was that? Radio.com, the 24/7 radio station, the podcast, the Arts Academy, the foundation, everything split 50-50 to give back to the artists that galvanize my soul around the world that are independent and can use that money and need that money. And then those in the community that support me, supporting their mental health, their pets' health, their passions. This is not the job. And so when I sat down on Wednesday night to try and do it, I was like this. And when I sat down on Thursday to try and do it, I was like, there's a little bit more, eyes are almost a little bit more open. And I just said to Jodie and Harley, I'm going to reground, get my shit together. And then on Saturday, which is where we are right now, 27th of August, 2022, now I'm going to sit down and get it done. Right? I just don't wish to force anything. And I've done a few of these videos where I forced it because I was adamant that I would stay on schedule, but you can't hold yourself to that at times. You need to listen to your body and mind and rest when rest is needed.
Otherwise, the demon appears and says, "You suck. Why didn't you eat enough food and sleep, you fool?"
I think I slept like 6 hours across 3 days.
Not good. Not good, and I never sleep.
Just flicking between characters.
Okay? You should probably get some rest, bruh.
Okay. So today we went for we got up this morning, went for a little tea at Hullabaloo Coffee. Hullabaloo is in West Saanich by the old Red Barn Market. I'll show you, actually. Oh, did I close everything? That is classic. I closed everything I needed. Oh, Google will restore it. Lovely. Hullabaloo Coffee. It's next to the old Red Barn Market in West Saanich. Graham and his family and his friends are flipping awesome. If you're looking to support a local little coffee situation, they've got some great patio seating there, and you can get your ice creams, your coffee, your lemon juices. I say lemon juices. What do they call them? Freshly squeezed lemon. You can get fizzy lemon juice. I don't drink it, so I don't know. What do you call it? Lemon drink. Oh, I guess my brain's still catching up. Lemonade. Like Elvis when he used to be in the movies. Delirious. Just brilliant by Eddie Murphy. Why is it that Elvis has to sing every line in the movies he's in? Lemonade. Hey, Elvis, what do you need? I need some lemonade. Anyway, that's beside the point. We're talking right now about Hail the Void. In this band that formed in late 2019, there are 3 souls. On lead vocals and guitar, you've got Kirin. On the drums, you've got Curtis, although originally it was Lucas. We'll talk more about Lucas in a second. And on the bass, you've got Dean. Now, a few years ago, when I bought a wealth of signed vinyl of the band's debut album, self-entitled Hail the Void, that came out in 2020, Lucas came over. He was on the steps here. We were socially distanced, etc., and gave me the rundown on how this band came to be. Now, I am going to have a conversation with them at some point. We'll get into the nitty-gritty then. But my impression from what he was putting down is that basically Dean is new into the world and realm of bass guitar. And Kirin, I'll speak about him in a second. Lucas had been drumming for years at this point. He runs Silverside Sound studio in the Cowichan Valley, in Cobble Hill. In fact, if we go to the website and go to the Arts Academy, as I was saying, everything's split 50-50 to fund. Another thing it funds is music lessons for those 5 and upwards in Canada. Here are some of the teachers. And Lucas is the drum teacher / producer and music technology sort of teacher. Lucas McKinnon, a musician, audio engineer, poet. I zoom into 200%, Steve, so you can see it. Runs his own recording studio on Vancouver Island, Silverside Sound. He started playing music at age 11, and before owning a drum kit, he had a pair of sticks that he would beat furiously against the sofa, playing along to the album that changed it all for him, Nirvana's Nevermind. In his early days, he had no idea that playing drums and music production in general would be as central to his life as it is now. I have watched Lucas for over a decade in a variety of bands play with the utmost passion. I've seen Lucas from afar grow his business and studio and production skills to a colossal level. This Silverside Sound studio in the old barn is absolutely stunning. This is a must. If you're a band on the island or in around BC, or you're willing to make the trek, this is a beautiful spot to go to. And Lucas is just so warm and wonderful. Go back to my point from a few minutes ago. He was the first grant we gave as the Arts Academy was to Chance, who's a teenager who wished to learn a bit more about production, had been recording bits and best they could to put on the old YouTube, doing covers of Queen and all sorts. Went in there and spent several hours with Lucas across a few months in learning how to do recording, and at the same time recording himself in a professional studio and playing most of the parts as a multi-instrumentalist as Chance and putting that together. It's just amazing what Chance has done. And Lucas as well, the whole way through the process, was so invigorated by working with Chance. And especially after the last few years of not really being able to do one-on-ones, and then as soon as we could again, and everyone being comfortable with it and safe with it, just a really, really, really amazing experience for those guys and Erica, Mama, to get involved in. And so when it comes to this band, Lucas, when I heard him teaming up with Kirin a few years back, Kirin, I've seen Gudmundson in a variety of bands across the last decade. I've seen him from a middle teenager into his, I don't even know how old he is now at this point, like must be 24, 25. Ray and Tanis, his parents have been, I've seen them, I write this, hang on a second. Let's dive into the portal here. Let's dive into the portal, right? On whatwasthatradio.com. Let's go into the Song of the Week portal. Other Song of the Week choices, the likes of Black Honey, Willow, Brutus, Sophisticated Dingo, Plains, A.A. Williams, no relation, Spielberg, Spirit Box, Rainwolf, Sick Joy, Loot from Norway, who are incredible, Starbenders, and so many more. Let's go into the Hail the Void. I was going to say Lucas State. They've also been a Band of the Song of the Week alumni, not Band of the Month like the station I used to work at when I was in charge of that for a year, called The Zone at 91.3, to be clear. It's not to be hidden. Because I write here, for the decade I worked at the Zone in commercial radio, there was a family I saw at near enough every show and festival going. Then I noticed their kids on stage growing as performers. And the Gudmundsons have always been so upbeat, positive, and passionate. When I first started this station 2 years ago, coming up 2 years ago in 4 days on September the 1st, they were some of the first to sign up and support me. That's Tanis and Ray. They're absolute sweethearts, this family. I continue in saying across the last several years, their son, Kirin, has really come into his own, and there's still so much room for growth. I've seen him in a variety of bands, and it was clear he was destined to lead his own and truly showcase his creative mind and talents. This song encapsulates everything I adore about Hail the Void. Just to quote myself awkwardly there on the website. And for the most part, what I've observed in Kirin is that he has been the leader of the bands he's been in. I've seen him go through several different shades of rock and subgenres of rock. I've seen him be in cover bands. I've seen him jam with friends. I've seen him do a variety of things in venues that very graciously allowed him to. I mean, this is the problem with the lack of all-age venues, is when he was so young, you got to do a bit of like wheeling, dealing, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to disrespect the rules. I'm not old enough to technically, can I play here? I don't know if I should be saying this, but I've seen him in venues of which maybe was okay. And it was clear from a young age in his early teens that he had some serious guitar chops. What I really liked about Kirin was that Kirin seems to have been the whole way through this journey of growth the same person. Has never tried to distort or fill a role or fill some shoes that are someone else's narrative. It's always been what he has tried to push himself into his passions to grow and improve upon. And that is the key. And I think why the likes of Blasco, who we'll get to in a bit, reached out to this band and said, I fucking love you guys. I want to sign you guys. I want to help you guys get on the world stage, which we'll get to. And I was saying when I chose this song, and I think Ray, I'm pretty sure that Tanis was also listening when I announced this on Monday, start of the week, that it must be, for me, it's unimaginable. I don't have, Harley, who's 8 years old, my partner, Jodie's son, I love to bits. And when I went to the school concert and he was singing at the end of the year school concert, that's the closest I've come to feeling like I think how Ray and Tanis feel. Like I was welling up and crying at the most simplistic and beautiful thing. Like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this. The confidence, the ability. They must be so proud of the journey that Kirin's taken so far. You can see that on their social media, that to me, it's private to you, but not to me. Because of our friendship for over a decade, you can see the constant posting and the love and support and helping make the merch stand designs and everything for their first ever. This is a band that's not even played shows publicly yet because of the pandemic coming about. We've seen them live stream. We've seen them put live videos out there that we'll jump into right now. Let's do that right now. Let's show you the lineup when Lucas... That's not how you spell it, but YouTube will figure it out. When Lucas was still the drummer before he stepped away and Curtis Bennett stepped in. Now, Blasco speaks about how Parasite was the song that grabbed him. However, I would like to start with All Hail, because this is one of the most monstrous, energetic instrumentals I've heard in a long time. And if there's one thing I'm down with, it's stoner fucking rock, the sludge, the wall of sound, just the obliterating nature of how they go about performing. But so, if I can say it, if this is using it correctly, lackadaisical. There's what's, okay, here's what's most special about this band. Let's see if you pick it up within the first 60 seconds. Do you know what I'm just realizing? You can't even fucking see it. Saturday sludge blend, blah, blah. What? This is the part when I'm listening, wherever I am, I tend to find myself doing like a sort of like I could just picture like a wall of these sort of
demonic figures.
Like a sort of, I get really into it.
Yes. Yes.
I don't quite have the energy in me to make a sort of TikTok. I guess I had a little flurry of it. I'm going to be famous on TikTok, mama. I'm going to do it by making funny facial expressions. But then even though the first 3 people that became super popular got really popular and no one else cared about the other ones, I'm going to try anyway, mama.
What the fuck?
I mean, come on. This is sitting at 301 views? Come on. Should be 300,000. Should be 3 million. It's insanely good. And my point is that, and I make this point a lot because it's what attracts me to people and their music in terms of the art, is authenticity. I am not necessarily into the artist that says, you need me in your life. I'm into the artist that has that sort of quiet confidence and self-belief that doesn't need to tell anyone they're fucking hot shit, because they are hot shit by default of being themselves. These are 3 men I've yet to see with Curtis Bennett, but I'm sure he fits the mold if they've brought him into the void. These are 3 guys. Do you see posturing? Do you see pouting? No, you see utter focus and passion towards their craft and the performance. And that is what brings me in. That throws the net like a fisherman trying to get the tuna. I'm not sure why I don't go fishing, so that probably shows right now that I don't really. That sucker's a tiny! I only know that from commercials, which is impressive to people that know fishing, and I'm like, I don't know. I just heard a commercial. I copied the commercial. Like, call 811-663, caution building plastics. Have you got a commercial that's stuck in your head from when you were a kid on the school bus? Because that's been in here for 25 years. Call 811-663, caution building plastics. We'll do windows, doors, and all in between. Caution building plastics. Let's watch another. Let's watch the song. Okay, Blasco. Blasco signs Hail the Void. Let's see what the internet brings up for us here. Blasco signs Hail the Void. Here we go. Ripple Music. That's what we're talking about. Ripple Music, one of the world's leading purveyors of heavy psych, stoner, doom, and heavy rock.
Yes. Ripple on, dudes.
Etc. In this press release posted March 4th, 2021 by Racer. I love that they all have names. You could join my team with Racer, Blazer, Razor, and Blasco. Anyway, it was a cheeky dodgeball reference. Racer writes, quote, Canadian hard rockers Hail the Void announced their signing to Ripple Music for the release of their sophomore full length this year. The Victoria BC trio is the second band to join the California label as part of the special series of releases curated by Blasco. Blasco, by the way, who has played bass in a multitude of bands across the last 30 years, from Ozzy Osbourne to Rob Zombie. The guy's a stud, right? Hail the Void, Racer continues. Blazer, Racer. Are a Canadian hard rock band forged in the flames of the coronavirus pandemic. The band came together to play original material in December 2019 with Kirin Gudmundson on guitar and vocals, Dean Gustin on bass, and Luke McKinnon on drums. Within a month, they recorded their self-titled debut LP, which received critical acclaim and landed them consecutively at number 4 on the Doom charts in June and 27 on Doom charts for the best part of 2020. I'm reading ahead and not pronouncing words properly. Now they've signed with Ripple Music under the mentorship of the one and only Blasco. Blasco says, quote,
Hail the Void. Released one of the strongest debut.
Can you even read this, Steve? Do I need to zoom in more? We're here.
Hail the Void. Hail the Void.
Hail the Void.
Hail the Void.
Has released one of the strongest debuts I've ever heard. The lead single, Parasite, was one of the most listened to songs of the year. I am beyond excited to work with these dudes on their sophomore release. Expect to see big moves from Hail the Void in the years to come. End quote. Racer goes on to say the band's sound fuses the psychedelic magic of acts like Pink Floyd and All Them Witches. That's... Jesus Christ. That's a mixture of pressure and holy shit. Thank you very much. With the classic doom of electric
Wizard and Windhand.
That's a further Jesus Christ. That's quite a comparison. Their drop-tuned riffs provide the backdrop for themes exploring societal frustration, anti-theism, am I saying that right? Nihilism and mental illness hail the void's self-slated goal is to make listeners realize that the true horror and doom of this world consistently and without fail comes to the primitive and instinctual mind of man and his blind ignorance to the one true master to whom we all must submit, the void. Oh, shit.
I think I've reached the void. Is this the void? I'll hail the void. No, I didn't ever steal Maltesers when I was a kid. I can come in, right? Oh, I didn't steal enough. Okay.
I don't know what the fuck's going on today. Let's just live with it. So let's check out what Blasco loved, which is Parasite. Right here. This is very, very nice. I mean, Dean. God damn. These tones that Dean produces are so dark and
So low. Right bit.
it's hard to find your pitch with a voice. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Let's let Dean do it. Let's go back. Sorry, Dean. I like that in near enough every picture, Dean looks like he's come from the pit at a stoner rock show. He's just in his own world. He's looking up into where is he? He's floating in the ether somewhere. He's got wet hair. He just seems like a fucking stud, to be honest. I was looking forward to the day that Kirin found this collective and formed this band, because in other bands that I've seen him in the past, he's brought out this depth, this ghoulish scream and power vocally, those lungs just pushing through this air to just explode. And I've seen it in different bands and been like, oh shit, this ain't working with this lot, but when you find your lot, it is going to be dynamite. And here we are. And he's just stood there like, yeah, it's just another fucking day in the shop, mate. Just, yeah. Oh, just another day doing what I love doing. I wouldn't overthink it, mate. Just go with it. It is what I mean. None of this MGK crap, right? You need me. Just another day at the office for Kirin.
This is
And just to shout out quickly before we go into this little pickly doodle-da. Who filmed this? Who's the film crew? Film directed by Ian Locke, of course. Engineered by Derek Mattin, mixed by Lucas McKinnon, mastered by Stu McKillop. I like Ian. I like Ian. I like turtles. I like Ian, and I like the sort of overexposed and layered, the sort of, what was I want to say? Yeah, that sort of overexposed in the way they've layered up the. Why is my brain? I need to open Photoshop. The opacity. That's the word I'm thinking of. Like taking off 50% of the opacity so that you can have those layers on top of each other and see through and have them all there. I got a lot of time for that. I think it's really effective. I think it makes the space look really cool. Much, much bigger than it is. It's a big studio, but it makes it look just colossal, like they're on a stadium stage. And I think that is paramount to how it really accentuates and showcases this band to be the real fucking deal. And that's not to say that any bands that can't get a similar video of, like, look, it's just, in this instance, when you've not been able to play a live show yet, and you go in the studio and you record a live session, you put it out there, for this to be their first, hey, here we are live, jeepers. This is a really solid introduction. And yes, 300 people have seen it. Those separate ones, 554 have seen this one. How many have watched the full 20-minute welded together situation? 2,000. Okay, now we're talking. It's 2,000 plus people have seen this. People saying, is this live? It's so fucking good. Drone Stoner Rock during the pandemic. You are badass. Thanks for blowing out our ears for us. We'll try to survive somehow. Jesus, LOL, says Ant as a YouTube commenter. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to this. Side note, I don't know if they want two drummers. Just putting it out there. So then I'll style myself to look like Dean. All I got to do is just get a bit of, if I just get a bit of water in my hair right now, right? Dean it up, Get those, get that, get this. I can't play bass, but I mean, we could brother from another mother it for sure. Introducing Dean, Gene, Kirin, Curtis. Nah, I don't know if that works. I should just let them be, really. Now you know he's into it when he starts, man. All the greatest guitarists on the planet like to flip in, eat as they play, because they're fucking into it. so good. Let's check a little snippet of one of the other parts of the session here. And then we'll dive into the song in question for the Song of the Reek. Song of the Reek. It reeks of world-class ability. Yeah, sure. But high and rising. My brain was thinking of rising and weak, and it just reeks of... Desert Apparition, Carmen live at Silverside Sound. Oh my goodness, let's skip 3 minutes in.
Rise up, something free, and face to the light of the side of the sun. I will stand still until you tell me to run. Don't say to me something sweet, something pure.
How cool a shot is that? Getting two Deans just in it. It's just really fucking cool. Let's skip it 6 minutes in. And this for me is where Kirin really shows, I mean, speaking of 10 years plus of watching him perform on stage in all these different guises, but the delicate nature of his playing is where he's really, really improved the last several years. You can throw rather a power chord out there and cover it in sludge, but it's these intricate little pieces that he's composed in these songs, in that debut album, Self-Entitled Hail the Void for 2020, that really showcase the depth of his ability as a creator, as a composer, as a musician, and in the contrast that he gets between those heavier sounds. And then everything about this band is just, it's managed and layered so well. There's no energy in anything they've released so far that is punching above their weight. There's absolutely that growth at trying to improve moving forward, rather. But I'm not getting anything that feels forced. And I hope that doesn't come, because their gentle yet ferocious way of creating all things Hail the Void is what really excites me about not necessarily sophomore or record 3. Imagine where we're going to be at in record 5 in like 2030. Imagine where in another 5-10 years, and you add that experience of getting out on the road and getting out and meeting other people and working with other people and seeing the world around you to then further strengthen how you wish to go about creating your product as a band, which is Hail the Void, and as 3 individuals together in that family. That's what excites me. Right, I'm 35 years old. I can speak for me. I won't speak for them because I haven't lived their lives or their lives. My brain today, but it's all good. My words are making sense just about enough. But you need life lived experience to come back and look at yourself in the mirror and go, okay, I know who I am. I know how I operate. I know how I want to create this stuff. So let's do it. And that's what really excites me. This is the start of the journey. This is just the fucking start of it. When they've had that experience and some ups and downs, and there'll be more downs and ups maybe, that's where then 3-5 years from now, shit's going to get really exciting. It's going to strengthen the self-belief and the self-attitude of the approach. It's going to strengthen it. It's going to refine it. They're going to get better and better and better. Skip it to 8 minutes. All right, let's just get into it. Let's get into the Song of the Week choice. Let's go back to here and read the quote that Kirin sent me on the old Instagram, which was, High and Rising was recorded in the summer of 2021 at Silverside Sound, a rural recording studio surrounded by farmland and nature. This song is one piece of a larger concept on an album about death and its frightening beauty. This album is Hail the Void Sophomore release titled Memento Mori, and it'll be released in early 2023. Ideas for a video and short film to accompany the song started to take shape when I and Chase Fraser, a longtime collaborator, took the lyrics and deepened the concept, resulting in a cinematic look at a personal journey of grief, torment, and ultimately self-acceptance. End quote. Song of the week number 44. What was that, Radar.com? It's Hail the Void with High and Rising. Blazer. Sorry. Not sorry. You've met my car. Blazer. I'll stop. Dean yet again with the bass that just instantly hooks you. Instantly intriguing. That sound and tone. It's just that transition from the verse into the chorus. You're expecting to be completely bludgeoned, completely destroyed by the upcoming wall of guitars. But then the pleasant surprise is the texture and the thickness of it. It doesn't really grow. It doesn't change too much. You're in it. If you thought that there was more to come, well, maybe later on. But right now, you're in the thick of it. And it's just, you're surrounded by this incredibly well textured and produced wall of sound that is Hail the Void. Kirin's vocals right in there. The believability, the authenticity of the performance is brilliant as always. But again, we go back to the start, that Dean hook. Then in comes Kirin. Then I don't know if it's Lucas or Curtis behind the drum kit there. It's just so refined and so flipping good. That's the best way to describe it. That's the simplest way to describe it.
But it tastes so sweet. Nothing's going to hurt me when I am clean. I don't know about the real.
And that crossover to then bring us, we thought we were just observing this man on his fucked up crusade. Now he's he's in it with us. That caught me off guard the first time I watched this video when he mouthed those words back at us. I was like, oh shit. So they want us to be looking over our shoulder now, right? And that corresponds and intertwines with the journey that Kirin is discussing and singing lyrically. Goes back to that quote, right? The song is one piece of a larger concept of an album about death and its frightening beauty.
It's something I'll never see.
Because as macabre as this sounds, death is always just over our shoulder. It's just, when is the day coming when it's going to give the little double tap and say, it's time, mate. Dark. I like it dark.
Fall into my solace, darling, it feels so real. I hope the life you lead is sound. 'Cause I'll run you straight into the ground. You found peace in the flow that I could take. You found a hole in the sky that I could fake.
Who is this guy? He's incredible. Do they note him? Aaron Cockburn? I think he's brilliant. His character work is outstanding. It's very easy to look like just a cheesy dude in a field who's meant to be all manic and crazy. What was his name again? Fart Brain Aaron? Aaron Cockburn. Incredible work. Getting like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jack Nicholson vibes with this. The way he's leading the merry retrobates to a new world.
The underworld.
found a piece of myself that I couldn't take, I think is a brilliant lyric, because life is lived experience. The amount that you learn from interaction with people about yourself. And a lot of the times we go, fuck, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know that about myself. I am fine. I'm doing just okay. Back off. But you need those connections. You need those conversations, those experiences to truly get to know who you are, because you can build your own narrative of the life you like to live and who you think you reflect to other people. It doesn't matter. You need that. Otherwise, you don't truly connect with and sink into, who am I? What do I stand for? How do I carry myself? Is that how I'm perceived? Perception versus reality fascinates me greatly, like the fickle nature of social media. Oh, their life seems great. Well, maybe they're posting all this shit to deflect from the fact that really it's not great, right? I'm not saying it's all yin yang, flip the coin, heads and tails, completely polar opposites. But the fact is that we have so many systems and situations at our fingertips that can help to distort the true reality of where our mind and soul carries itself and is in that moment. I just think this is such a brilliant but simple but brilliant and impactful lyric that opens up so many questions for me. Does it for you? Oh, look at that. Memento Mori. Dum, 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 dum. We'll see how that pans out with the rest of the record. Yep, Lucas was on this. Confirmed. Mr. Blasco. Getting a shout out alongside the parents. Some local talents as well. I see some familiar names in there. From artists to photographers and more. So there we have it. That is Song of the Week number 44. Hail the Void, High and Rising. And I am just so excited for the future of this band. For the record that Memento Mori appears early in 2023. And quite frankly, to see them live. I cannot wait to see them live. I just can't wait. They're playing in Vancouver, I think, next week. This video, I mean, if anyone captures this video through Patreon, can get to it and say, I'm a flipping wuzzer. I'm here to support the Voiders. Oh, just got distracted by Discord. All right, okay. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, and as always, please look after yourself, and I hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it too, because we need to cherish that positive. Thank you so much for spending just over 50 minutes of me deep diving into this band in this moment, in the state of where my being is at. I'm just so galvanized by these three, so excited by these three, and so intrigued by these three. Let me know what you think. Until next time. Have a great rest of your day, and cheerio.